Hello, welcome back. It's yet another day where I sit down before you and read an extract from one of my books. And today's snippet will come from book two, that is Torture and Confinement for those who are new in this channel. Now, here is how it all started. My London acquaintances um, play the friend card. Of course, I trust them. Why do I do that? Dixon Chambers and myself, and with whom I had escaped Germany in a stolen helicopter, had landed in the UK as fugitives. Now, it's an act that made us all villains in the United Kingdom, including the men tracking us down. The MI5 wanted us both. That is, we become now bands of the same feathers. So there was this deal we agreed to. They would lure me to break into the SP5 at Thames House, MI5 and quarters, to steal the so-called night flight. So for those who are new in this channel, Nightblight is basically a biological weapon we have been talking about for quite a while in this series. So in exchange, they would sneak me out of the United Kingdom so I could elude internal security detectives and now the so-called MI6, that is the UK's external security arm that deals with security matters beyond the United Kingdom's borders. Now, today's extract comes from book two, that is Torture and Confinement of the File Soldier series. So I'll start reading. Jerry Sparta was a 35-year-old hunting machine recruited by the Russian Brotherhood a day before my breaking out of Tomsk camp. I imagined him armed with a Mexican HK-53 machine gun for such a mission, though today it appeared he had cleaned that one and left it in his room at Hotel Schweinstein to be presented at a moonlighting job interview arranged by Jeremy and company on Father's Day the following week. In a sentinel event I saw in my subconscious mind, a doctor in British Columbia had extracted his appendix 2 weeks ago, but had closed him up and forgotten 7 stitching needles inside. Stay put, I'll flush him out. My pursuers from Germany had found me. I could feel the glimmer of the eyes of those freaks glare upon my back like scorpions' sting. They want him alive. It would amount to gross fatuity if I gave up and bungle the attempt the first time I'll try it. He's hurt real bad, but the son of a bitch will never give himself up without a fight. You know the rules, now go. Young had been considered a leading candidate to be nominated for the post of PA, Tomsk aides had said. But Howan's opinion had shifted today on learning from some biscuit splits ally of theirs that the confidential informant in charge of Omsk affairs, working under the tutelage of Yang, had the previous weekend given a classified briefing to the Kudus Intelligence Committee on plans they had discussed to lure some Tomsk men in the end shrinkers sect. With John, those stupid rules never apply. It was unclear what Young and specifically said at the briefing that angered Howard Green, but he believed he had given information that was supposed to remain exclusively under the trust of one Mr. Jake Daniels. Whilst one Jerry locked his eyes with mine, Sparta stared at the wall to my right, so that you immediately grasped the man was a squint. A squint, they said during my days in Tomsk, and the best assassin's eye. At that moment, at that moment of his discoursing what they'd do to me in case I was captured, and Agent Jeremy Douglas, and having related my offences to Blackpool with such exaggerations, the recipient himself thought was best calculated to rouse his ire, lights went out. But Jeremy was just Jeremy, being the kind of agent who kept his personal life so low key, you'd have everybody thinking things differently, but for what they really were. Just before I sign out, appreciate that it was strange up until then the German deployment, the Swift team they called it, under Grimwig Schrödinger, had not yet arrived at Thames House as everyone else had been earlier informed in the briefings. But would this undertaking free the experienced agent, that is Jeremy Douglas, from the vexations of a past that had humiliated his present with paroxysm of despair as a family man? Stay tuned to the next episode. Only time will tell, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.